I'm about to apply the binding to my out to lunch. This bag is bound on the inside, so we don't have to be as pedantic about the finished look, but I'm going to share a few tips that I've learned along the way for inserting your binding. I'm about to install the internal binding of this bag. So when you're doing something like this shape, you need to have the flat side on the bed of your machine, but that's tricky because you can't see the binding. So what I've done here is I've pinned it a lot, lots and lots of pins, and I've also pinned on this side to keep that flat because I don't want that to get caught under the foot as I sew around, so this way it won't. Okay, so we're going to put that flat on the machine and we're going to get this in. So we're doing a 1/4 inch here. Once again, using your awl can help you just control the fabric on the top with a little bit more precision. We are sewing over pins, which I know that is not recommended, but in this case we don't have much choice. But if you sew very, very slowly and carefully, you shouldn't have any problems. When we get to these weird little corner sections, you've just got to kind of flatten it out. This is also where the awl will be very helpful to help you get around. Because this is inner binding, you don't have to be too stressed about how it looks, because once it's done, I'll show you how much it doesn't matter. If this was external lining, I possibly would have basted this in first by hand to just have a lot more control over where the binding was sitting. As I said, I'm not terribly fussed in this instance because you're not going to see it. It's going to be very well hidden. Just pull all those pins out, and if you want to be very, very pedantic, you can check and you can go, yeah, that's fine. Or if you think that maybe I should have gone over that a bit more because it's not quite a 1/4 inch, you can actually come back and just sew that section. Lots of pins. Okay. So look, but everything has been caught in quite nicely there, so I might just come in and do that section just there because I did come in, it's more closer to 1/8 of an inch than a 1/4 inch. Because obviously it's slipped, but because it's already been stitched, it's a lot easier now to just come back and quickly go over it and just get that 1/4 inch on those bits that you've missed. Bit more of a 1/4 inch there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to pull that over. I just pin a few key sections just so that I know it's going to be in the right spot, which is mainly just the centers. And then we're just the center of the corner as well, just to give that a little bit of and then once again I'm going to just do a slightly larger stitch here, pop it on, and we're just going to catch it. And once again, the awl is your best friend here because it is literally just going to help you hold that binding exactly where you want it to be while you sew. If this was the outside of a bag, I would possibly hand stitch this down because I'm a bit more pedantic about how that looks. But the inside, just go for it. now why it doesn't matter. So once this bag is turned in the right way around, the outside is going to look like that. And all you're going to see on the inside is just that little bit like that. So no one's going to see you stitching. So just go for it, get it done, and don't stress about it. We're about to do the base onto the bag now. So I've decided to do this a slightly different way. I've sewn the binding onto the base already because it's in the round, so I thought it would be easier to join the binding than with it all attached to the bag. So that has already been sewn to the base, and then I've just kind of attached the base to the top of the bag using a combination of pins and Clover Wonder clips. And then so the next step is I will sew that down, and then I'll be able to fold this over and stitch it on top just like we did with the previous binding. Okay, so now we've done the binding around each of the top edges and the base has been bound. Is it perfect? Definitely not, but it's done. And then by the time we turn it outwards, and fold it all over, you can just see it in there. It doesn't really matter what your stitching looks like because you're not really going to be looking at it. And then that there is your finished out to lunch. Ready to pop your food in and go to lunch.